Hey you all, I'm also hi to fellow dressmakers. You're welcome to another interesting tutorial. My name is Confidence. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful Cowl Kaftan Bubu dress with front details and cover button. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to go about the details in a way that it will be neater in and out, just like this one here. And this dress also has a belt on the waistline that you can use to make the waistline more fitted. So this tutorial is going to be quick, simple and detailed tutorial. And if you want to see how to do this, kindly watch this video to the very end and let's get to it.
Hello, you don't even know my name, but I am happy you came by.
So these are the materials I'll be using for this tutorial. I have this red satin fabric. For the plain fabric, you will need at least half yard of any material by 60. And then I have this lightweight crepe fabric for the main dress. I have 4 yards because I'm making this for the plus size. I'm going to fold, but let's talk about the calculation so you don't waste your fabric. Okay, so you're going to the shoulder measurement plus the sleeve length. You're going to plus the shoulder measurement plus the sleeve length, and her shoulder is 20 inches divided by 2, that's 10. Then the length of her sleeve is 17 plus 1 inch for hemming allowance, that's 28. So folding, you fold 28 on this part, then the other part will be the length that you want. So you're going to fold this way. This is the selvage of my fabric, the original mouth, right? I'm going to just fold it like this, going to the other original mouth. I don't know if you understand. So I'm going to fold it like that. Make sure I have 28 on this side. Then along the selvage line, the original mouth, I'll have her length of about 63 inches on that point. Then I'll fold it again to have 4 fold. I don't know if you understand, but looking at it this way, I hope you understand. So the upper part is folded, and this center part too, I have 2 folds, like 2 folded fabric, one for the front and the other one for the back, because I want to cut the 2 together. Now I'm going to go to the top part and measure her shoulder measurement, which is 10. Then from that point, I'm going to measure the 18 inches, which is her sleeve length plus the hemming allowance. Then I'll mark it out. So here I have the shoulder measurement divided by 2. From the shoulder measurement, I measured her sleeve length and marked it out. I'll start from the top line and go to her waistline. From that point, I'll count to her hip line and also her knee line. Okay, you need all these measurements, especially the hip and the knee. You don't even need the waist. I'll come to the sleeve length and mark round sleeve measurements divided by 2 plus extra 2.5 for ease and sewing allowance. Then I'll measure what I have here all together. I'll come to that round sleeve and mark the same value. You can minus 1 inch if you want. Then I'm going to connect it from the sleeve length to the round sleeve point, just like this. I'll extend it this way. Then I'm going on that point, I'm going to come in by 2 inches. You can just come in by 1 inch. That would create a room for us to fold the sleeve later. Okay, then I'll now come to the hip line and mark a hip measurement divided by 4 plus extra 4 inches for ease. I'll come to the knee line and mark the same thing, the hip measurement divided by 4 plus extra 4 inches for ease. Then on the knee line, I'm going to come up by 3 inches, and that's where the cowl effect will be stopping. You can go up the more or even just leave it at the knee if you want. Then I'll mark the same thing. I have the same value I have on the hip line, the hip measurement divided by 4 plus extra 4 inches. Now I'm going to just give it that cowl curve from that 2 inches we came in from the round sleeve, just like this. Just give it that round cowl curve. You connect it to that 3 inches you came up from the knee line, just like this. It's very simple. Then you connect it straight to the knee and all the way to the down. Whatever measurement you have on the hip is what you're going to have all the way to the down. You can actually minus something to make it more pencil if you want, or you just leave it like that. Okay, now let's come to the neckline. And the neckline, you see that it's not high neck. Okay, it's not high neck, it's more just like a regular V neckline. So I'm going to just use 3.5 as the neck width. Then for the back, I'll come down by 1.5. Okay, so the back is going to be 1.5. Then I'll curve it from that 3.5 to the 1.5 neckline depth for the back. I'll start from the top and go down to the front neckline depth, and I want to use 10 inches. Okay, remember she's a plus size, so this 10 inches will not show her cleavage, and it should just be where she wants it to be. Okay, she don't want it too exposing. Remember, we are still going to add some strip, and by the time we are done, this 10 inches might even go up to 8 inches or so. So I'll give it a V shape for the front, then we go ahead and cut. So I'll cut from the down, cut the side, then we come back to the front. Yeah, the neckline. If you're using this kind of material, it's just best that you go ahead and pin every part of this dress so that it doesn't shift as you're cutting, and so it will not disturb your measurement. Add or reduce the measurement. Okay, and when you want to cut the neckline, you cut the back together, and when you want to cut the front, you take one up, and after cutting, I will open the center, the one that has V neckline. I will open it up all the way to the down, and that's it. After cutting, I'm going to take my measuring tape and measure around the neckline, starting from the back. I'll come back to the front and measure it all the way to the hem of this dress, and I think I have about 74. So this 74 now, okay, it's about 72 inches. Is going to be times 2. Whatever I'm going to cut on the strip, I'm going to cut it times 2 of this 72. So that would be about 144. So I'm going to cut that times 2. Whatever it is that you have, you're going to cut that times 2. But if you have a very long fabric, like you have like 3 yards and you want to cut it out from the selvage, the width of the fabric, then you don't have to have any joining. But I measured my fabric here, and I'm going to have plenty joining, but I will make sure I have what I need. Okay, so I'm going to cut it out. The width depends on what you want. You can cut it 1.5. So by the time you're done, it's going to be 3 inches. You can also cut it 2 inches so that it will be 4 inches. But here I have 2.5 width. By the time I'm done ironing it, like this 2.5 now is 5 inches, and you can see that it's 3 inches all together. By the time I'm done joining, it's going to be like 2.5. Okay, so go ahead and press any lightweight interface of choice, but I choose to leave it because I like the feel of this fabric. Is the high-end satin fabric, and the feel is out of this world. So I don't want to disturb the feel. That's why I didn't stabilize it, and it's thick enough. I want it to have that lush look after I was done. So now I'm going to take it, since we are not joining any shoulder or anything, I'm just going to take it this way. Now that the neckline is still folded, go ahead and notch the midpoint of the back neckline, just like this. You notch it, and that will be the neckline, the midpoint of the neckline, both front and back. Then what I'm going to do now is to fold the sleeve. You see that 2 inches we came in, that's, I said it to give you room to fold the sleeve, like to hem the sleeve. So I'm going to do it and do the other one to have something like this. Okay, so after that, I went ahead to close this side. Just hold the two sides together. It's very simple. There is no measurement or anything. Just go ahead and close it with 1/2 inch all the way to the down, right? So I still have the hem, like the end of the dress, still very much untouched. I'll be doing that later. Okay, so I trimmed off the excess on the hem, on one part of the hem. The next thing I'm going to do now is to now place the neckline this way. Remember, we notched the midpoint of the back neckline. Then I'm going to take the strip. If you have just one joining, at this point you're going to place that joining on this midpoint. But since I have plenty joining and I don't need any midpoint, and I have something long enough to go round, I'm just going to start on one end. Okay, so you're going to just arrange the strip. Make sure the part that you are supposed to stitch right now is where you're stitching on. And I'm going to place it the same way and stitch it all around the neckline to have something like this. So I have excess remaining, and that is why I say I don't want to get the midpoint to have half. You see all of this that I have here, it will have been half of this on one side and half of it on the other side. but with this now I can still use this for something else. That's just the reason why I didn't want to get the midpoint of this strip, so it will save my fabric. Then for the V part, the V neckline part, when I was stitching to that point, I didn't just follow the V shape, give it that curve or that corner. I just blend it in this way. Just place your strip straight. It will just blend in, don't worry. When you get to that point, just make sure you don't follow the V. Match up the strip with the fabric after the V and above the V. I don't know if you understand. Then I also extended, marked where that V stops, because that's where we'll start closing the strip from. You understand what I'm saying in a bit. But the right way to do it is to do it on the strip, but it's easier since I already have it on the fabric. Okay, I'm going to also mark it now on this part, just this way. Mark out that V point, because that's where we'll start closing the strip from. I'll do the same thing for this other side. Then I'll come to the down part, the hem. From the hem, I'm going to measure up to where I want the slit to start. However you want it. I measured about 20 inches here. Remember, I'm still going to fold the down part. So this 20 inches will be like 18 inches by the time I'm done. She doesn't want it too open. So this 20, I think, yeah, 20 inches works just fine. So I'll mark it on both sides. The next thing I'm going to do now is to fold the two strips together. You see that midpoint of the neckline, you're going to hold it on that point, and then you fold the strip this way. Please go ahead and pin if it will be easier for you. You're going to hold the two strips this way, and then you're going to stitch from that point that you marked on the neckline. Follow one crease line of the strip on the strip. Follow one crease line. Then you're going to stitch from that point all the way to the down part, that point where the slit will start. You have the crease line, so it will be easier for you. Just follow one, and then you make sure you match up the two strip. Make sure they are aligning on both ends, and then you stitch. So when I had to stitch it, I know you can't see it because I didn't use the contrasting thread, but I stitched it following one crease line all the way to the end, and this is what it looks like. Next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead and flip it on the fabric this way. Can you see? It will be on that allowance, that joining allowance that you just did. So it's going to be like this. Then you're going to pin it down. At this point, pin. Do this on a flat surface. You're going to pin this down all around. It will be easier for you that way. And make sure you're not like pinning both fabrics down, on the other part. I'm just pinning one side down. I'm going to do it that way to have something like this. Then I'm going to stitch in between the joining that I have there. But if you can't do that, just stitch very close to the end of the red strip. I'll stitch it all around to have something like this. Can you see? By the time you look at the inside, you can see how cute and neat it's looking. So this is the easier and neater way to join this. It will give you whatever you want. Even if you're doing this as a high neck, the built up neckline one, you're still going to follow the same process to do this. And this is what it looks like. I haven't even ironed it, and you can see how shiny the satin is. That's one thing I like about this very satin. So I'll go ahead and give it a good press, and the dress is ready. And I know you're wondering, what about the belt you talked about on the waistline? I actually forgot. I honestly forgot about that belt until I was going to give it to the owner. That's when I remembered, and it was already dark. So I'll leave another video, the link of another video where I did that in the description box. Go ahead and check that video in case you don't know how to do it. But it's very simple. You just cut out the strip of belt, how long you want it. Then on the front waistline, you're going to divide the waist measurement by 2, and then you mark it. Then you place the belt on that point. It's very simple. Now for the cover button, you're going to use the main dress, like the main fabric for the dress. And then for the video I'm recreating, they use 9 9 of these buttons, but here I have 8. So you're going to distribute it evenly this way. Then you tack it with your hand needle, and that's it. So this will be the end of our tutorial today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you on my next one. Be good. Bye.